Hello, and welcome to the Gamer's Closet. I'm your host, Douglas Weed, and today we're going to be talking about the $6 Million Man game. This game was produced by Parker Brothers in 1975. It seats anywhere from 2 to 4 players, runs for about 45 minutes of game time, and is rated for ages 7 and up. But let's dig into it a little further, shall we? The $6 Million Man is an American science fiction and action series that ran from 1973 to 1978 about former astronaut Colonel Steve Austin. After a NASA test flight accident, Austin is rebuilt with superhuman strength, speed, and vision due to bionic implants and is employed by the fictional U.S. government Office of Strategic Intelligence. The series was based on Martin Candon's 1972 novel Cyborg, and due to the popularity during the second season, the $6 Million Man board game was released. In this game, each player controls a bionic man, but only one is the real $6 Million Man. The first player to complete all 4 of their assignments wins the game, proving that they are the $6 Million Man. This game has been released in multiple countries, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and Brazil. This game does come with multiple pieces. It comes with a computer spinner, a game board, 56 power cards, 4 character bases, and 4 Bionic Man markers. To set up this game, each player selects a marker and inserts it into its base. All markers are placed on Start Assignment 1. Give each player 8 power cards, store the remainder of the pack in the computer spinner. Power cards give you power. You must always have at least 1 card in your possession. If you run out of cards, you must lose 1 turn and collect 2 cards. To start play, each player spins the spinner and the highest number goes first. Game continues in a clockwise direction. On a turn, a player may do one of the following. A. Spin the computer spinner and move their marker the indicated number of spaces. Or B. Skip a turn and collect 2 power cards. Or C. Play any number of power cards and move their marker the same number of spaces as the number of cards played. For example, if you play 5 power cards, you may move 5 spaces. The player then follows the direction on the space on which the marker lands. If you land on a power card symbol, take 1 power card. If you land on a reverse arrow space on your next turn, spin and move backwards. Follow the directions on the space on which your marker lands. For example, while moving backwards, a player lands on a power card symbol. That player immediately takes 1 power card. If you land on a bionic malfunction, restart 2 space, move back to the beginning of assignment number 2. If you land on an assignment space, each assignment is made up of a series of events in which the player may have to lose a turn or give up power cards. When a player lands on a space where they must make a choice, they must announce their choice at the beginning of their next turn. If the player decides to lose a turn, they do nothing and play passes. If the player decides to give up 2 power cards, they return the 2 cards to the computer spinner and take their regular turn. A player must stop on the last space of each assignment regardless of additional counts on the spinner. On their next turn, the player has 1 chance to spin the number or a higher number necessary to complete the assignment. If the player is successful, they move their marker directly to the next assignment. If the player does not complete their assignment, they must give up 1 power card and wait until their next turn to try again. If they are not successful on their second turn, they must give up yet another power card and wait again until their third turn to move on. On their third and final attempt, the player spins and moves their marker directly to their next assignment. If again they spin less than the number needed to complete their assignment, they must give up 1 final power card. There are times when you will have a bionic battle with another player. The battle takes place when a player lands on a space which is occupied by another player. Both players must spin once. The player spinning the highest number wins the battle. The winner takes 1 power card from their opponent and moves their marker forward the number of spaces indicated on the spinner. You cannot have a bionic battle on the start space or on any space at the end of an assignment. To win the game, be the first player to finish all 4 assignments and make it to the Bionic Research Lab. Well, this has been an overview of the $6 Million Man Game. The $6 Million Man Game, like I said, is based off of a 70s TV show. And honestly, when I first picked up this game, I thought it was going to be a basic roll, spin, and movement game. But I was surprisingly happy that I was wrong. The game has power cards. Power cards allow you to skip actually doing the spins and sacrifice cards to make moves. So it has a nice strategic element to it. So you can start picking up cards, losing cards. It has this nice element to it, which I think propels the game a little bit above the basic roll, spin, and movement games of the 60s and 70s, which there's a ton of them. The game is very well constructed. It has a very nice $6 Million Man theme to it. It has a nice art to it. The boards look great. The pieces look great. So as a theming aspect, I say the game is phenomenal. It does its job perfectly, and it looks really good. As a playthrough, the game has a nice subtleness to it because of all the power cards, and I like the ability to you can sacrifice cards so you don't get hung up on losing turns, and you don't get hung up for too long if the spinner doesn't go your way. So it's a nice way around of the randomness, especially if the spinner doesn't like you. So I think it's a very interesting mechanic for this game, and it does a really good job. The game itself is very easy to learn, very easy to play, very easy to pick up. You won't have a hard time with it. It's great for kids. If you want to find this game online, it's pretty easy to find. There's a lot of copies online that go for anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks. So as games go, it's not super expensive, and it's relatively easy to find. If you want to have a nice game night, like a small game night for a couple of people, I think this is a good option. Like I said, it's a kid's game, but it has that nice subtleness, strategic edge to it. So if you get a good couple of strategic players, you'll have a really good time with this game. So if you haven't tried the $6 Million Man Game before, I would recommend taking a look at it. Like I said, it's easy to play, easy to learn. It's about 30 to 45 minutes, just depending on how many players you have. The less players, the faster it'll go. But it is very easy to learn. So if you want something a little retro and have a nice fun evening on a game night, I would say this is a really good option for you. So if you haven't played the $6 Million Man Game before, I would honestly recommend playing this game. Well, that's it from us here at the Gamers Closet. We'd like to thank you for checking out our video on the $6 Million Man board game from Parker Brothers. If there's a game in the future you'd like us to review or go over, please put it in the comments below. Please hit subscribe so that we can be the first to check out our future content. And as always, please have a great gaming day.